So during your competition days, your physique, I'm sure you turn a lot of heads in public. What are some of the most memorable positive or negative reactions you receive from people who are in the bodybuilding world, just regular everyday people?
Okay, so my favorite positive ones were always in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, New Yorkers, they don't hold back.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard.
So,
I have a friend from New York. She doesn't hold back.
Yeah. In fact, this is what it was like, because I'm coming from Australia, and so I'll put some context around this. So in Australia, I had, when I was living in Melbourne, and it was colder, and so you were covered up a lot, but all the places that I went, I knew the people. Okay. People knew. That was like... Yeah. So there was no weirdness, and they're just like, hey, are you doing a comp? Whatever. So yeah, that's Melbourne. Then I moved up to Queensland, and it's more beachy, so you're wearing like less clothes, and people did stare. Okay. Like people would be, and I'd be thinking, but surely like you're used to seeing people who work out or something, but no. So it was not to the extreme. It was, you would get a lot of weird looks, particularly off of women with kids. I don't know, they used to think, I'm going to eat their children or something. They would like put their kids behind them, and it was stuff like that. I tended not to notice. My husband at the time, he would get offended on my behalf at times, but I'm like, whatever, like, it's like, it's what it is. But then, like, when you go to New York, people just yell out, oh my God, love your legs. I would get women who'd be like, can you come beat my husband up? He's being really bad. That's awesome. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't fight. Like, the New Yorkers were great. They just yell out a compliment, like yell it across the street, what do you do for leg training and that. And then the contrast in California, they'd be so polite. They'd be like, ma'am, can I just tell you that your physique's amazing? And it's like, they'd just be so polite about it. So that was, I guess that's kind of like, LA, New York, the difference in there. When I went to Europe, though, they're like England and some of those countries, they would look you dead in the face. They'd know you were a female, and they would call you sir. I had one guy though, he was just like looking at my forearms as I was getting some groceries or something, and he's called me sir or something, and then he's looked up and he's just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But he's just, because people just look at the muscle and
okay. I guess they kinda make, but then I don't know, I guess. No, well, the way my eyes are changing, I'm looking at the total. I say, okay, she has feminine jawline, so that's the person that works out a lot. Yeah,
but again, remember this is 20 years ago or something.
That's true too. Yeah,
it wasn't different as common. It wasn't all over Instagram where it was like, it's like, normal to do that. Right. Yeah, so I'm gonna say overall it was positive. Like people, once they knew that I did something like competitively, people also changed. Okay. Because I would get that like, people were like, what do you do? And as soon as you say, and this is particularly Australia, I've won something or done this, they're like, oh yeah, you look fantastic, keep going in that. If you're, if you don't have that behind you, it's kind of like, but why? Why do you want to look like that? Yeah. So it is that kind of a difference. But like I say, I was used to being stared at. Okay. But people who, if my mum would come somewhere with me and she couldn't stand it because she's like, everyone's staring at us. And I'm like, no, they're not, Mum. What are you talking about? Don't be stupid. And
but she's looking around and seeing it, Yeah, and like you're in tunnel vision or whatever, Yeah,
well, actually, I was used to people staring.
That's right, yeah.
Because when I dropped size, when I stopped competing in the years in between, I actually noticed the absence of being stared at more than the being stared at. Because I'm making eye contact with everyone left, right, and center. I thought that was normal. Yeah. Apparently it's not. So.
Because I work with the public, and I get people try to get people direct eye contact, and they ask me a question, and just kind of looking around. So yeah. But then again, like you said, we live in a different age and era now. I remember growing up and going in elementary and junior high school, that's what we were taught. Yeah. As kids, it's like, hey, when you talk to someone, you make direct eye contact, and especially with job interviews or you're meeting people, networking, you shake your hands.
But I'm talking about just walking down the street. Yeah. I'm meeting everyone without saying hello. I was just used to making eye contact with people because eyes were directed, and I just thought that was normal. And then when I drop size and I'm like walking down the street and I'm looking and no one's looking at me, and I'm like, and then I was like, oh. I'm not getting stared at anymore.
So you like the attention back in the day?
It's not that you like it. It was normal.
Okay, gotcha.
It was just normal, and I am a friendly person.
Yeah.
Unless I'm on a mission, and then it's like
of course,
apparently I'm not. So yeah. So I think there's that time and space, like and because that was what I got every single day, everywhere I went.
Yeah.
I was used to that. But then as it did kind of drop down, and you're going everywhere, and no one's even looking at you. You actually notice that more.
Wow.
The absence of that. So, but people who aren't used to it, suddenly they're with you. And yeah, my mum, she's just like,